While working on my motorhome, I had to do some work on the ignition switch, and this is a old GM ignition switch from the 70s and 80s. It's held in by this ring which threads into the switch itself, and to be able to turn this ring, there's 3 notches around the periphery here. Now, some guys take a screwdriver and try to beat it out like that, maybe with a hammer or with their hand. That works. It's a little brutal and sort of buggers up the ring, and I wanted to come up with something better. So I discovered that a piece of PVC conduit will just fit right in there. It's a little loose, but for our purposes, that's just fine. So what you do is you take a Sharpie, and where one of the notches is, you put a little mark, and then you rotate it around till it aligns with this notch here, and then you put another mark here, and then you rotate that around till it lines that notch, and then you put another mark. So that'll get you the 3 marks. They'll be 120 degrees apart. You can check that you got it right by moving that one to this, and hopefully your notch there, when it comes around, all the way around, will be right. And then check it again. So what you've got is 3 marks, 120 degrees around the periphery of this piece of PVC conduit. And the size of the notch is sort of roundabout the size of a 440 screw. So you drill and tap the 3 holes for the 440 screw, and you screw the screws in from the backside, leaving the end of the screw just poking out a little. Now, through the magic of video editing, here's what you got. So I've put 3 screws in from the backside, just poking out just a little, and there's 3 all the way around, and you can take that and align the screws with the notches, and then you just give it a good twist with your hand, and that's really all it'll take. You don't need a long handle on it, just a good grip on this tool, and you can loosen it or tighten it back up. And that's real easy, real cheap. You might need to file the width of the screw end a little bit, but it's pretty close to the 440. If you went with a larger screw size, you might have to file it a little bit further down. But that's all it is to make a convenient tool to unscrew these old GM locks that are still with us after all these years. The lock has a feature where you can remove the cylinder. It's got a little hole here, and you can put a wire from a paper clip, and then with the key, I think it's in accessory position, you turn the key, push with the paper clip, and the cylinder will pull out. However, the cylinder won't come out with this mounting ring in place. The cylinder is actually larger than the hole in this mounting ring, and that's done for security so that anyone can't just pull out your cylinder and replace it. You have to actually take the whole lock out. But with a lock out, with the mounting ring out, you can remove the cylinder by putting in a little wire, like a piece of paper clip wire. And then goes back in with just a shove it in and click it, and it'll lock into position. So that's real easy. And then you put the mounting ring back in, you tighten it up with your tool, and you're good to go.